The Prime Minister's Science Prizes have been announced this afternoon. The winners include what's known as the Dunedin Study, a world-renowned, decades-long longitudinal study into human development, the nature-nurture question and more. An 18-year-old who found a way to improve a famous old physics experiment. There's a primary school teacher, the first primary school teacher to be recognised in the teacher category, and a lecturer taking science to those who aren't interested in science. Our science reporter, Jacob McSweeney, who has been out to meet them.
Professor Richie Poulton remembers interviewing subjects of the Dunedin Multidisciplinary Health and Development Study when he started working there during his university years.
I didn't think I was a kid. I thought I knew something then, but and now I'm, 54, and they're all turning 45 this year. So we've all got to midlife. Well, not all of us, sadly. 38 have died, but there's 999 people still alive, and hopefully virtually all of those will participate in our next assessment, which begins in 2 weeks' time.
The Dunedin Study started in 1972 and 73, following the lives of 1,037 babies born at Queen Mary Maternity Hospital in Dunedin. The data has led to changes to judicial practices thanks to the study's work on identifying antisocial behaviour and understanding later life effects of teenage cannabis use. Professor Poulton says he's looking forward to seeing some of the subjects' reaction to the award.
They start coming back for their assessment in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll run this assessment for about 20 months. Plan to have the statuette in the study members' reception area so they can enjoy it for the time they're here. They'll probably take selfies of themselves with it, and that's what you do these days.
The $500,000 prize money will fund new studies on hearing and vision, chronic kidney injuries and musculoskeletal research. Brendan Bradley is the winner of the McDermott Emerging Scientist Award. Within 2 years of finishing his PhD, he was in Christchurch for earthquakes there, and he also happened to be in Tokyo when the magnitude 9 Tohoku quake hit. His work has included using a supercomputer to calculate billions of data points in one day for video animation like this one, where waves of impact from the Kaikoura earthquake can be seen impacting the area around it. He says the same work would take up to 5 years on a standard laptop computer.
Some of the models that we've used to represent the South Island of New Zealand for looking at alpine fault earthquakes use about 25 billion points to describe the Earth's crust below the South Island. So that involves a huge number of computations, and really harnessing that high-performance computing is key for us to be able to understand those sort of results.
Koro Nui School in the Hutt Valley will get $100,000 because of work by its science teacher Diane Christensen, the first primary school teacher to win this award. She's the curriculum leader for the subject at the school and has pupils beekeeping, making and selling natural creams, as well as cleaning up local waterways. Mrs. Christensen says it isn't crucial her students become scientists.
It's just as important to have kids grow up to be critical thinkers and to know to look for evidence and to look for data when there's all sorts of wild claims on the internet or in other places that they may look.
That's just the challenge facing our next winner. Rebecca Priestley is a science writer and is the winner of the Science Communication Prize. She's written several books and more than 200 articles on subjects like climate change and alternative energy. And she's clear about one major challenge facing sciences right now.
We've got a real challenge in how to reach people who perhaps, don't profess to have an interest in science, or people who don't accept that the climate is changing. And when you look at what's happened in the United States, where they've elected a blatant climate change denier, there's a massive challenge ahead.
The Future Scientist Prize went to former Onslow College student Catherine Pott. She cracked a loophole in the Van der Poel method, which measures the electrical conductivity in a sample. Miss Pott developed a technique using simulation on a computer to correct measurements, where a sample has a hole in and readings are distorted because the current flows through the hole. For Checkpoint, Jacob McSweeney, Tēnei.